Do you know who we are? Yes, once again, it is time for the Tna Recipe. Welcome, welcome. All the way from Dallas, Texas, it's your boy Big Red. Always along with me, I got my boy from LA, my producer extraordinaire. Give it up to Cali Love for EL.CIBERNETICO. Where you at, bro?
What's going on?
All the way from the PA, my co-host, Mr. Anthony, Ultra Golden Chris Cox. Where you at?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
All right. Before we get started, once again, I want to send out my prayers to all of the people in Boston and here in close to me, close to my home here in Texas. The explosion that happened, all the people that lost lives and all the people that lost their homes and stuff, and just sending our prayers out to you from WCC. Keep your head up. We're keeping you in our prayers. Also, WCC would like to remind you to always support your local indie show, no matter where you are. Hey, especially if it's free, get your ass in the seat somewhere.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. Let's jump into the show. First of all, we have TNA starting out with the Aces and Eights coming into the building. 3 guys from security tries to stop them, and Bully Ray's like, really? Out of all the guys, you 3 think you're gonna stop us? After all the guys we don't put down, just you 3. Basically, like, bitch, move out the way. And then next we get James Storm starts out top, comes out to the ring, talking about the match between him and AJ last week, saying, hey, giving AJ his props for that move that you put on, saying, hey, that move hurts like hell. As we all know, AJ Styles debuted a new submission hold. And so now he's like, after the match, Aces and Eights came in and whooped my ass after the match, and he wants, revenge. So here comes Bad Influence, Kaz and Daniels, saying, hey, Storm, you're not the only ones that got your ass whooped. We got our ass whooped too.
Right.
So how about this? It's going to take 4 guys. Not just any 4 guys, but Fortune.
Yeah, Reform Fortune.
Right? And with AJ standing up in the crowd watching the whole thing going on. So what are your thoughts about this? Ed?
Well, I actually thought it was pretty funny. I mean, we all know that the Fortune ship sailed a very long time ago, back in 2010. When I thought of like a Fortune reunion, that's just what we need. And what makes you think that group could be the group to take out Aces and Eights anyway? Nobody's going to buy into that.
Exactly. What you think about that, L?
I gotta disagree with you on that one, and let's be honest about something. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how about we get the 4 original members who started the whole damn thing together and rise up together? You don't like the idea, or what?
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's one of those things where you really need another stable right now in TNA.
I mean, I think
if Hogan's trying to get some of these guys, well, then again, you might have a point, because what happened? All the other top guys have gotten beat down.
Yeah, but it's like, I think they're going to go once again. Now, I'm not defending him or anything. I'm not defending my peoples out there in Mexico, but yeah, once again, they're stealing another AAA story. Here comes a young, old faction, stable, whatever you want to call them. And it's like, let's show these fools what's up. They're taking over our house. It's like, nah, let's get it back.
That's, Jeff Jarrett's been down there lately. Maybe he's faxing them some information.
Maybe. I mean, hey, him and Conan are pretty tight now, so who knows?
All right.
All right.
Moving on, Red.
I don't know. I think they, you know what I'm saying, they need somebody to go up against the Aces and Eights. Basically, they've been whooping everybody's ass on the roster. I mean, they've taken them all out. It's like, hell, nobody was holding there tonight anyways.
Right.
It's the who's who of the roster getting knocked out.
Right. In the months doing all this, Aces and Eights comes out to whoop James Storm's ass.
Mm.
And they were about to put him through the table until Joseph Ports comes out there. And I don't know why. Why does the little guy always think he's the baddest motherfucker? Wes Briscoe goes out and gets his ass knocked down by Joseph
He's
Park.
the first person to come at Joseph Park because they think Joseph Park is soft. That's the thing.
Right. So, Joseph Park gets in, gets his ass whooped. They're about to put him to the table. Bully's like, what? No. Move back. Get back. Everybody get back. And we all see what we haven't seen in about 2 years, a 3D through the table.
Damn.
That was kind of cool, too.
Has it really been that long, fellas?
It's been a while, yeah. When's the last time we saw hey, we can say it on here. When's the last time we saw a Dudley Death Drop? It's been a long time since we've seen a 3D.
Too long.
Right. I was like, oh, wow, 3D through the table. I was like, how I missed that. Next up, we have a knockouts match, the first knockouts match of the night, Tara Terrell versus Tara. And Tara came out there without Jesse. I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, but it was a pretty good match with Tara.
It was a pretty good match. You know what? They were just like the knockouts matches last week. They were aggressive.
Very aggressive match.
That's been the theme of the knockouts. So like I've said, if there's anything that TNA is doing right now, it's if there's anything that they're doing correctly, it's their knockouts.
Right. Tara takes the win with the roll up. I'm like, oh wow, roll up. This is how we're gonna win the match, huh?
Or my girl Tara? No.
Hey, right. My girl, my future ex-wife Tara Terrell won that, so I'm happy.
Right.
Tell that to Drew McIntyre. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Hey, look, she done dropped Drew. You know what I mean? Because Drew was, Drew was too soft. Clearly, I heard she was whooping his ass. So.
Moving on, Red.
Apparently, Drew wasn't man enough.
Right.
Yeah, I said it. That. You can find me at RedDun81 on Twitter if you want to get at me, Drew.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Oh, I forgot to mention before that. Aces and Eights had mentioned that Hulk Hogan wasn't in the building, that he was there and he left, claiming that that he ran like a little pussy. But as we saw, he was coming back into the building, and the guys were trying to talk to him. He was basically like, "Go away, not at this moment, not right now." I'm
right. And they also, once again, after Joseph Park was taken out, they talked more about how, hey, we've taken out every single person on there. They're out of heroes now.
Right. Which basically they are.
Yeah, they are. And then what do we have next? Robbie E, which I don't understand what he's supposed to do in that gimmick.
Right. Robbie E backstage bullshitting Jesse.
Trying to hype him up while Terry.
What was that, E-Dog?
Matt Morgan.
There you go.
He needs to give him
What?
They need to give Matt Morgan a chance to kick that ass.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, we'll get to Matt Morgan in a little bit. Yeah, we'll talk about him.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? Like Robbie sitting there trying to hype up Jesse, talking about, hey, your muscles and your pecs are bigger than Big Rob, so I think you can beat him. I'm like, man, chill with it. I thought that it was going to be.
Why are you filling this boy's head full of lies?
Right, trying to pump his head up. And then we got
so
to the match.
Next up is the match between Rob Terry and Jesse. You know, Jesse got a few little licks in here and there. He kept him down for a little minute there. But
yeah,
in the end,
it was an alright match. I thought it was going to be like a syringe full of steroid on a pole match, though.
Ah, shit.
Right? I'm like, when I looked, I was like, dude, Rob Terry's trying to kill you. When I just like seen the size comparison, I'm like, dude, he's wow. Okay.
So you see, Robbie E tried to interfere or whatever. Rob Terry took Jesse and launched him at him.
Oh yeah, that was nice right there.
That was, yeah. It shows how strong Rob Terry really is. You know, he got the win on Jesse. Jesse, or who was he? Johnny Fairplay on Survivor. You know, like, yeah, you're just a jobber here.
Next up, we have Bad Influence backstage approaches Bobby Roode about the same thing about reforming Fortune.
Once again. Mm-hmm.
And he's basically just like listening. Then after they get to talk, he's like, "Well, what about Aries? No, that's my tag team partner. What about him?" And they're basically like telling him, "No, Aries is holding you back. What the hell?" Not knowing that Aries is ear hustling.
Right, back there listening.
So
behind the room door.
Yeah. After that, we get the package of the returning Chris Sabin next week.
Sabin next week. Oh, before that, Mike Tna was talking about, Jeff Hardy was talking about walking away from pro wrestling after the injuries that he got from Bully Ray and Corpus Christi. You don't think Jeff Hardy's going anywhere, do you?
Oh, hell no.
Nah.
He can't. He'll get off TV. He's going to be off TV for a bit. He got hurt. He got roughed up pretty bad in that match.
Yeah, probably take some time off to let some of them injuries heal up.
Chris Sabin, what do you think about Chris Sabin coming back next week? I'm actually kind of excited for it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, let's hope he stays healthy this time, because last time I felt he came back just a little bit too soon.
Right. That's all I'm hoping is that not only does he come back, but he's back, he's healthy, and he's ready to roll, because the X Division, or even if he wants to wrestle for like the TV title, like any of the title, like he's a good hand to have on the roster. Seriously.
Right. All right. Next up, we have the tag team titles match. The champions Chavo and Hernandez versus Rude and Aries. But before that, we see Aries backstage with Rude was like, what's up? Let me know what's going on. I mean, do you want this Fortune thing or do you want this tag team thing? Let me know what's up,
Right. He just asked him right there on the spot.
He's basically like, Fortune. He's basically saying Fortune has been. This is now. So we get into the match. It was a solid match. It was a pretty solid match. Bad Influence is trying to interject themselves into the match, call themselves distracting the refs and trying to get Rude and Aries the upper hand, but did not work. They ended up getting their ass kicked for their trouble. Who was that? Daniels tried to hit Chavo with was it Chavo or Hernandez? Tried to hit him with the clothesline, but ended up hitting Rude.
Right. Rude didn't even look like he really wanted his help, but he was just going to take it.
Right. Which allowed Chavo to hit the frog splash and retain the titles. So what did y'all think about this match right here?
You know what? A pretty good match. It's one of those things where I kind of wish that Bad Influence wouldn't have interfered, that they would have just stayed on commentary to show everybody that they were relevant in the tag team title hunt. Because, I don't know, I'm honest with I don't like a lot of interference. I like seeing clean matches, clean finishes, especially if it's going to be the last time those two possibly wrestle.
Right. And the whole time during the match, you know, Kazarian's out there still trying to talk to Rude about fortune. I'm like, dude, really? In the middle of a match? Did you like the match, L?
It was decent, dude. I gotta agree with Fan on this one. It should have been a good, nice, good, clean match. You know how TNA is fucking up right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Next we get Matt Morgan backstage. Catch up with him.
Yay.
Basically, he's talking about the same thing about Hogan's mistakes that he's made, and that he should have been the one to be the number one contender. That he should be the TNA World Heavyweight Champion right now. And he's like, matter of fact, I'm going out to the ring and I'm going to call out Hogan. So he gets out to the ring, gets in there, he starts talking about, you know, the mistakes and everything, again, that Hogan's been making. And he calls out Hogan, and he's like, you know what? I'll help you. I'll be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you get rid of aces and eights. I'll be that dude. But for a price, right here, right now, you name me the number one contender for the World Heavyweight belt. And then we could talk about us getting rid of aces and eights. Then Hogan in return is like, if I name you the number one contender right now, that would be a bigger mistake than me naming Bully Ray. I'm like, wait a minute.
Right,
How the hell would that be a bigger mistake when Bully fucked you and your daughter, dude?
Damn. Right, bro. Wait a minute, but Hogan did bring up some good points. He said, look, after all the verbal abuse, you taking my robe from my Shea Stadium robe, you know, Hulk Hogan had some points himself. Like, why should I let you get a shot at the title after you took my robe and talked all this mess on me? You want a shot at the title now? And then,
hey, Matt just trying to make a statement and let him know that he's the man.
Hey, but then how about Hogan called Andre? He said that Matt Morgan. He's like, you don't like Andre the Giant. He was never a punk bitch. I'm like, oh, he called Matt Morgan a bitch. A little bit. Yeah, that's what it was. He said Andre the Giant never came out to the ring and whined like a little bitch. You got Matt Morgan there. He said, man, he's like saying, man, you're 7 feet. What you doing acting all soft?
Right. I still want to know how is that going to be a bigger mistake when Bully fucked him in Brooke.
Right. My whole thing is that Matt Morgan is all you have left, man. Everybody else is taken out. Why wouldn't you be trying to get Matt Morgan in your crew? And I thought that maybe he was going to make Matt Morgan his main event proxy finally. But maybe, I guess not yet.
What do you think about the segment, L?
Dude, I think you called it a few months, almost like a month ago. Where were they going with this? And they barely started giving it to us right now?
Yeah, they're just giving us a little, there's going to be more to the story there.
Yeah.
I give them props for not throwing it all out there at once. There's going to be more to it. I think Matt Morgan's going to keep on trying to convince Hulk Hogan to let him be the one to take out Bully Ray.
My thing is this: are they finally going to give him a shot? And I'm talking about Morgan.
I hope so.
It's well over. It's well overdue.
Way overdue.
Right. So like I said earlier, everybody else, pretty much the Ace and Ace whooped everybody down. You know, all the so-called superstars, Kurt Angle, everybody. And like you said, Matt is the last man standing right now.
Last man standing. That's right.
Exactly.
Unless they, give me a shot, I'll go and I help them out.
Damn.
They need this little extra gangster up in there.
Exactly.
Hey, I'll manage.
Come on.
All right.
You can do it.
All right. Up next, we have, again, the Aces and Eights backstage. Bully Ray talking. basically talking to the boys, letting them know, hey, Hogan must be stupid to say that he wants to go out here alone, and basically, back there bullshitting and making everybody promise, like, hey, don't come out to the ring because this is a family affair. I gotta go at this alone. I'm taking out Hogan by myself. And the one person that he especially had to make promise was the asshole Mr. Anderson, because you know how he likes to get involved in shit.
Right.
So then next we have another little package of the knockouts, as we mentioned earlier. They've been hyping up this knockouts match between Mickey and Velvet Sky.
And they hyped it up the whole show. They talked about this match.
And I'm like, wow, I'm just like, they're really hyping this TNA this knockout matchup throughout the night. Like, they really throw some hype into it. So next we get into the match. Yeah. Next we get into the match, Mickey versus Velvet, and during the match, Velvet is like kind of tweaked her knee from the injury that she had before. Instead of Mickey seeing like she alright, she tries to pin her. I'm like, oh shit, is this a heel turn for Mickey?
When it comes to the championship, I guess she'll take it any way she can get it at this point.
Right? And I'm like, I mean, she's been dropping little hints of heel turns. I mean, she's been. I mean, just like last week with that match, she was aggressive as fuck.
A lot of aggression among the ladies in this match. Another one of those matches, aggression.
Right. What you think about this match, L?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was flipping back and forth to the draft on this one.
You just don't like the knockouts, do you?
No. Actually, this match was a little sloppy. And it had some bad spots in there, and I'm like, oh wow, this match is a little sloppy, and I didn't pay too much a lot of attention to it, but I paid enough. But anyways, Velvet ended up retaining the belt, which we knew that was going to happen.
What the hell, man? Well,
anyways, next segment we got Ray and Devon, just them two backstage. And Ray talking with Devon was like, why you keep asking me about her and this? Like, you want to get at it, don't you? You want a piece of that, huh? Devon was like, hell yeah. Bully was like, go ahead, I'm done with it. I'm like, wow, really?
And they talked about how they were the most dominant tag team and how they both got the two top singles titles in TNA now to go along with being one of the top tag teams of all time.
Which I'll give them props on that.
Right.
Absolutely. And then we had Brooke talking to Hulk Hogan, talking to her dad, like, I don't want you to go out here. She saw him taping his hands up, so I guess that means that he's about to go be Hulk Hogan now. But his hands are going to be taped up. But, told her not to worry. He's Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan don't worry about nothing.
Right. She's out there crying. Don't go, Daddy. Because he's going to get his ass whooped, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Next thing we know, we get Bully Ray out to the ring. He comes out there. He starts reading out a list of names. Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, Magnus, the Pope. He started reading all of these names of guys that have tried to take out the Aces and Eights, but have failed. And he's like, what you gonna do now, Hogan? All your heroes are gone. What are you gonna do? So Hogan brings his old ass out to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking bullshit to his face. Bully Ray spits in his face, and I'm like, oh hell no. Now see, that's some shit right there. I couldn't play that spit in my face shit.
Right.
So then he turns his back, and Hogan starts hulking up, turning up his shirt and shit. Then he points at Pussy Bully Ray, you. Then Bully Ray does the same thing, you. Then they get to fight. I'm like, Hogan, dude, put your shirt back on, dude.
Right.
Nobody wants to see that.
The pipelines just aren't there anymore, brother.
So, anyways, the rest of Aces and Eights comes out. Bully Ray's like, surround them. They all get in the ring. Next thing we know, the lights goes off.
They're out.
Usually when the lights go off, we all know what that means.
It only means one thing.
Lights come back on. Stinger is in the ring with the baseball bat with Hogan in the corner. He has the bat in Hogan's face like he's going to whoop Hogan's ass with the bat. Next thing, you know, and Bully Ray is like, yeah, get him, Sting, get him, yeah. Next thing we know, Sting turns around, pulls the bat at Bully, and just starts cleaning house. After all that said and done, he turns back to Hogan and pulls the bat back at Hogan like, I just saved your ass.
Yup, like, let me back on the show. And he didn't say a word. He just pointed the bat at him. A group of young guys ran away from some guy in his 50s with a baseball bat.
Right.
Like, why didn't they all jump him?
I'm like, it's like 20 of y'all and one of him with a bat. But yeah, this is how the show ended with Sting making his return. He hasn't been there in like 3 weeks now, and he comes to save the man's ass that threw him out. And I know what y'all think about this segment right here.
Well, I want to know, where does this, with Sting coming out to help, like, where does this leave Sting? Is he also going to try to be the one to say, hey, Hulk, why don't you give me a shot at this Bully Ray to try to bring the title back from Aces and Eights? Is he going to be also doing just like Matt Morgan, trying to be the one? Because you got to remember, who did Hogan blame for everything? He blamed Sting for everything.
Exactly.
These are two guys.
And on top of it, Sting felt responsible for it, and he wanted to be the one to clean it up, but Hogan was being a little bitch.
Yeah, and now now Hogan needs help from. There's two guys that Hogan's mad at that have offered to help.
Right, and I'm like, like I said, Hogan's blaming Sting instead of taking something to blame himself when he started drinking from the Kool-Aid cup too.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, you're the general manager. You're the one that decided to make Bully Ray. As I said before, he's the one that decided to make Bully Ray the #1 contender. Nobody held the gun to his head. Nobody twisted his arm to do that. That was all on Hogan.
Exactly.
What you think about Sting's return, L?
Damn. I've said this a long time ago. Back when me and you was running TNA Recipe. Check it out, Red. What's up with keeping all these old farts back in the company?
Exactly.
Dude, I was like, okay, whatever. And then what really caught my attention was this. If you guys go back and watch this whole thing go down, there's a guy wearing a Hulkamaniac T-shirt. He's right in the middle between Sting and Hogan. You can't miss him. He's fucking wearing a bright-ass yellow shirt. He has a face of being so disgusted by, like, no, don't hurt him, Sting. But it's like, dude, really? Like, you want to see this? It's like you want to see this.
Sting can still go. That's the difference.
It's like you want to see this old fart still go? Like, no, man.
Well, here's what you got to remember, though. The reason why guys like Hogan and Sting are getting these cheers, they're nostalgic cheers. These are all Hulk Hogan and Sting have been wrestling in the Impact Zone for all those months. Now they're finally going on the road, and everybody's going to cheer them when they first see him. For some of those people, this is their first time seeing Hulk Hogan live anywhere, or Sting live anywhere. So of course they're going to get that nostalgia pop.
Ah, man, these fools need to give it up already. I think Paul Heyman said it best. If he was running TNA, everybody above 40 would be fired already.
Right. He said he might keep one of them, and I think he said he would keep Sting, and that was it.
Possibly, yeah.
And it would be young dudes, because Sting can still wrestle.
I feel you should only have a few older guys around just to mentor the younger guys.
Right. That was what Paul Heyman's idea was. He said you keep one or two legends, and the rest of it's young guys.
Right.
Because you do need that seniority back there in the locker room to keep the young guys in line.
But Sting's never really been a problem. It's been like TNA. Like I said, their big issue was just it's oversaturated with Hulk Hogan and his daughter. It's just you're watching TV, you're watching wrestling right now, and you're seeing Hulk Hogan still sitting involved in the main event scene of a wrestling show in 2013.
Right. I mean, but I gotta agree though. I mean, disagree. Much better said with that. I mean, I don't know what's up with these old farts. They cannot step down and be like, you know what, that's it. Let's call it quits. Let these little young punks take over. But I don't know, man. I mean, I know if I was running the company too, I would have to agree with Paul. It's like, damn, anybody above 40, you gotta go. It's like you're done.
But check this out, on the real, it's hard. I'm telling you, with them has been in the business as long as they have. Right. It's hard stepping out, man. I mean, it really, because that's all they know. And if once they, do retire, they're gonna shrivel up and die because that's all they know and that's their life. Right. So, I mean, a lot of people understand. I mean, what they need to do, they need to make a geriatric federation for them if they can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who's gonna watch the TV circuit of wrestling? Who's gonna watch that?
Well. I'm not going to lie, even Mexican wrestling out here, Lucha Libre, they had it out here in L.A. They had Mil Máscaras, a.k.a. Del Rio's uncle, going up against Hijo del Santo. You got a 50-year-old fighting a 60-year-old. I'm not going to lie, that shit was fucking boring. They were just literally crawling on the floor. $40 seat for them to just crawl on the floor. Any real Mexican Lucha Libre fan would have been like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy. But at the end, it's like, dude, you got 40, a 40-year-old and a 60-year-old just rolling around the floor. I'm like, nah, I don't think so.
I didn't even know that No Masker was still wrestling anywhere. I thought he was retired.
Nah, he's still going. They still got to go.
But you know what, though? I hate to say this, but it's a true fact. Old guys like Flair and Hogan and shit, those dudes are gonna die in the fucking ring because they don't know how to leave it alone.
Hey, remember Money in the Bank? I thought they almost killed Flair in that.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, I believe it was.
Yeah, it sure was. And then the thing about Hogan is TNA fire Hogan tomorrow, right? They keep doing shows, and they'll do the same exact ratings with or without them. And without them, they'll do the same ratings, but they'll save a whole bunch of money while pushing their fresher stars.
But that's crazy to me. You guys mentioned the top two right there. I don't think those two guys would ever give it up. Ever.
Right.
And they're all just doing their best to try to push my boy Jeff Jarrett out of the company.
Exactly.
That's backstage. I'm sitting there looking at my autographed Double J guitar, like, man, how are they trying? How are they going to sit there and try to push you out of your own company? Man? If it wasn't for you, these people wouldn't have jobs.
It's like, if it wasn't for Jeff Jarrett and his pops, it wouldn't be no damn TNA.
Exactly. If it wasn't for them, he created a whole new set of jobs for in a national wrestling company. So that you wouldn't have to call it out on the indie scene in front of 50 people.
Right. Not only that, but he did that so nobody wouldn't have to go to the company up north. He did that. Anybody that didn't want to fool with it, I'm just going to say his name. Anybody that didn't want to fool with Vince McMahon, that's why he made that company. He vowed that he would never, ever go back to the WWE.
Right. Well, he can't go back to the WWE. You've heard the story of why he can't go back. I'm going to be writing a column on it tonight.
Uh-oh. Where can we find that column at?
At www.ksafekickout.com. If I finish it tonight, it'll probably be on the site by tomorrow.
That's right. Keep posting on that. For those of you who got Facebook, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central. If you got Twitter, of course, follow us on Twitter as well. We'll follow you right back at WCC Live. Big Red, what's going on, man?
You can find me at Twitter at Reddon81. That's REDDON81. Also find me on Facebook, my like page, Redon. And you can find me in the group, Wrestling Commentary Central.
That is what's up. And once again, as always, call that number 760-569-7676. Access code 200-446#. People around the world, I know we got a lot of callers from around the world that want to call in really bad, and I know we're on really late or sometimes a little too soon. It's like we're going to bed, you're going to work, or it's vice versa. We're going to bed, you're going to work, or you know what I mean. But hey, we're trying to figure something out where we can meet you guys halfway. So, like I said, keep listening to the show. Follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. All of our shows are being posted right there. Follow us right there. We are thinking of switching the players. So, in other words, we're not going to probably still be on YouTube. We're probably going to moving over to SoundCloud. Follow me on SoundCloud as well at BIZZARO626. That's BIZZARO626 on SoundCloud. But if you got Facebook, add me as well. Same email, BIZZARO626@gmail.com. Add me. Follow. I always post up every freaking single show on the WCC network. I know we got a lot of invites to tell us, hey, put the show on this, put the show on that. We're trying our very best. Please bear with us. I know we really want to help out everybody as much as we can. But like I said, and actually Red said in the beginning, always support your local indie shows. What else, Red? What else we got to mention?
I think that's about it.
That's about it. Also, for all you people that like to do a little role play, WC started a new project. It's called WCC Brawl, where you actually pretend to become an actual pro wrestler. No, it's not no gay fantasy where we start doing any bullshit like that. No. It's not no IMVU either. No. No, this is where you actually bring out that character in you. You become an actual pro wrestler with the WCC Nation. That's right. All you got to do, look us up on Facebook at facebook.com/WCC Brawl. It's in the group page. For more information, hit up myself or Big Red, and we'll get you set up and all that. Our first debut show will be this Tuesday. For more information, follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. For Anthony and Red, I am EL.CIBERNETICO. Be sure to join us next Thursday night. I believe this will be part 2 of good old Indiana, PA, right?
That's right.
Part 2 next week. See us here next Thursday night, and we will keep you posted on any upcoming WCC Live events and stuff like that. Support your local indie scene wherever they may be. Boston, Texas, God bless. Keep your heads up, and we will see you guys next Thursday night.
Night, folks.
Later.